In the NFL, the games and the outcomes are surprising, but the seasons are always kind of predictable. Last night, the Colts dominate Tennessee, and I thought, wow, that caught me off guard. And then I went and looked back at my preseason predictions. No, I had the Colts winning the division. And I had Phillip Rivers having a very good year. And he had a very good night. So it seems like, whoa, what is going on? But we knew the Colts had the best young offensive line in the NFL. We knew Phillip Rivers with the Chargers was always productive. We knew this would be Phillip Rivers' best offensive line. And we knew we love Chris Ballard, and the Colts are loaded on defense. They're loaded. They haven't whiffed on any of their draft picks of note. And then you watch it, and you're like, that's surprising. In fact, 5 of the 8 divisions I've got right, even the ones I don't. Is it a shock that Green Bay leads their division? I had them in the playoffs. Is it a shock that Pittsburgh is good? Well, they're the Steelers, right? Like, I didn't like him as much as everybody else. There's very little. If you look at the standings today, Buffalo leads their division. All right, Joy and I predicted that. Pittsburgh, Baltimore in the playoffs. They've been the best 2-run organizations in that division forever. Colts, Titans. That's who I had in first and second. Kansas City winning their division. You all predicted that. So did I. I picked the Eagles to win their division. That's where they're at. I had the Packers second. They're first. Not a shock. We all had the Saints and the Buccaneers 1 and 2. I did. Joy did. We all did. That's where it's at. And oh, by the way, the Seahawks lead the NFC West. We kind of liked all the teams. Nobody's shocked that Russell Wilson leads the division. The games are surprising, but the seasons are kind of predictable. But here's what's interesting with these two teams. The Colts. They are the Kansas City Chiefs. But that Midwestern team in conservative Kansas City went for it a few years ago. Kansas City was the Colts. Andy Reid, good GM, stable, long-time owner. Roster was really good. They were a playoff team. But they were in NFL quarterback quicksand. They had to go for it. They were too good to get a top 10 pick. So they had to move up and roll the dice and take a chance on Patrick Mahomes. Because they were too good to get one of the 2 or 3 top-rated quarterbacks, right? That's NFL quarterback quicksand. And their quarterback, like Phillip Rivers, Alex Smith, was good enough to get you to the playoffs. But you're not going to win a Super Bowl. So the Colts have a decision to make like another Midwestern team. And Chris Ballard is not a huge risk taker. It's time to roll the dice, fellas. I know you're in the Midwest. It's very conservative, one of our most conservative states. So is Kansas City, Missouri, very conservative state. It's time to be progressive. It's time to roll the dice. Kansas City paid off. Do you want to be the Minnesota Vikings? You want to be the Minnesota Vikings where you win 10 games, 11 games, you make the playoffs, you can win a playoff game, but you're too good. You're drafting somewhere between 21 and 29, and you can never quite get the quarterback you want. So you get Kirk Cousins, and you keep winning, and they'll probably end up, Minnesota's hot right now, they'll probably make the playoffs, and you're not going anywhere. What do you want to be? What do you want to be? The Colts are the Chiefs. They're going to make the playoffs. They have a really good roster, a lot of good young players, very dynamic at certain spots, but a ceiling at quarterback. Not a bad quarterback. A quarterback like last night, 29 of 39, 300 yards, 105 quarterback rating. But they got Quentin Nelson, the best offensive lineman in the game, young guy. They got Darius Leonard. How about Pittman, the USC wide receiver, looks good. Jonathan Taylor. Boy, they got a pass rush. What do you want to be? You want to be the Chiefs? Then work against your conservative personalities and go for it. Not a political statement. It's a personality statement. Go for it. Or you're going to be the Vikings. Respected, well-liked, win games, get to the playoffs. But nobody really takes you serious in the Super Bowl conversation. I think the Colts are that good. I think they're a go-for-it move at quarterback away, moving up from being Kansas City. I really do. I want to say this. I love Carson Wentz. And I've said this over and over, and I defend him. And, I kind of pick a side with quarterbacks. I think it's better as a talk show host to pick a side. I'm not a Baker guy. I'm a Darnold guy. Maybe I'll be wrong. But Carson Wentz I really like. But I have to be honest, I like Garoppolo too, and then he got hurt again and again and again, and I'm out. I'm not going to be stubborn and rigid. Garoppolo's not good enough to get hurt all the time. Aaron Rodgers is. Or Carson Wentz to me is. But there's a criticism about Carson Wentz here by an executive in the NFL. This is The Athletic This is an offensive coordinator, my bad, in the NFL. He said, listen, Wentz needs to hit rock bottom because right now he doesn't know when to say when. Everything he's doing is trying to extend the play like it's the last play of every game. They have all these coaches and analytic guys in Philadelphia, but there isn't anybody holding him accountable. He plays like the last play. Every play is the last play of the game. It is a totally just criticism. It is the knock on him I can't defend. But this quote implies that you could change Carson Wentz. And I want to throw this out. As a parent, this is something you talk about a lot as parents. What is innate and genetic with our kids, and what can you change? I send my kids to therapy. I don't think I'm changing them. My son's impatient. My daughter's more patient. My daughter's more social. My son's less social. It's who they are genetically. My son's more like me. My daughter's more like her mom. Okay? I don't know if you can change reckless. Phil Mickelson has golfed the same way from 20 to 50. It's who he is. Brett Favre, first year in the league last year, last pass in Minnesota. It's who he is. Russell Westbrook. He's been coached by great coaches. This is how he plays. I love Sam Darnold, but he was a linebacker in high school. He's still reckless. That was the knock on him in high school. He's reckless. It was the knock at USC. It's hero ball. It's the knock in the NFL. He's had 7 different coaches. They can't coach it out of him. There are things we know due to studies. Your IQ can be raised over your life. You read more, you travel more. Your IQ can be elevated. You don't have to be somebody that would ace Jeopardy, but you can get smarter over a lifetime. We know you can change your body, your shape with your diet and exercise. But I've never met anybody in my life who was reckless at 24 and cautious at 34. It's like innate. It's like either you're social, my daughter's social, or you're less social, like my son. They can both, he can be social, but he's not a social animal. My daughter is. She's never going to be a recluse. He's never going to be the life of the party. This is who they are. I'm not going to try and change them. I think what makes Darnold and what makes Wentz special is they can make plays almost nobody can. Mahomes is also at times really a gambler, but unlike Favre, he doesn't throw interceptions. That's what the legends do. They give you all the upside and not much of the downside. This quote by the offensive coordinator implies you can change Carson Wentz by just tutoring him. No, you can make him better at the line of scrimmage. If you didn't like his delivery, you could change it a little bit, but Phillip Rivers still throws like Phillip Rivers throws. There are things Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray are getting better at. But when you got the reckless DNA, Favre is Favre, Mickelson's Mickelson, Westbrook's Westbrook, Wentz is Wentz. To me, it's kind of innate. It's who you are, and I don't think it can be coached out of you. Nobody goes from daring to cautious. In life, in any business. I've never seen it. Maybe it's there. I've never seen it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.